course, when you say nervous breakdown, oh, now everybody thinks of a woman. Isn't this strange? There are thousands more men who break down than women, considerably more men who break down emotionally than women. Now, why is that? Many reasons. One important one is that in our society, men are under more pressure to succeed. Graduate, go to the army, get a job, make money, more, more. Women are under one big pressure. Get married! And that's just why love and marriage always mean more to a woman than to a man. They're brought up that way. From the time a girl is an infant in the cradle and she first hears Mama speak, what does Mama say to her? Someday you'll get married. Get married, get married. But what does she say to her son? What do you want to get married for? You're young yet. Stay with me. You're only 58. One girl said to her mother, Mother, I can't marry Joe. He's an atheist. He doesn't even believe in hell. Mama said, marry him. Between the two of us, we'll convince him he's wrong. If you want to see to whom love means more, look at the perfumes they use. Men use just as much perfume as women. But did you ever notice the difference in the names? What are men's perfumes called? Seaforth, King's Men, Cow Pasture. But what are women's perfumes called? My Sin, Taboo, Unfinished Business. Have you heard of the perfume Surrender? There's a new one coming out called Fight Back. One man walked into a department store to buy his girlfriend some perfume. He said to the sales girl, how much is that, please? She said, $40 an ounce. It's called Perhaps. He said, $40 an ounce, it should be absolutely. I wonder how you would feel if, when it came time for you to leave here this evening, if the program committee stationed themselves at all the exits, and as you walked out, they said to you, just for tonight, and tonight alone, and then handed you, each of you, a quart full of genuine diamonds and rubies to take home with you. How would you feel? You'd never get over it. All your friends who didn't buy a ticket for tonight would shoot themselves in the morning. And yet, the whole quart of diamonds and rubies would be worth ashes and dust to the value of a little present that I've brought with me this evening to give each and every one of you. No numbers will be drawn. I said everyone. Now, if there's anybody here who believes that I have nothing here, you are sorely mistaken. I wish I could take the ribbons off the velvet box, open it up, and say, look, have you ever seen anything so precious? I can't do that. Yet I have spent 10 years working in the mental hospitals of the city of New York. 10 years I walked the wards and dealt with the broken in soul and spirit. After 10 years, I've come out with a little recipe that has 9 precious ingredients. So precious, I've never yet seen a case of insanity that had one of them. I have yet to see a case of a truly well-adjusted person who didn't have most of them. Tell me, how many do you have? Let's mix the recipe right now. The most important one you'll ever hear again as long as you live, because it's for your life. Ready? Let's mix. Ingredient 1. Do you know how to make the most of what you've got? Did you ever notice some people, oh, if only I were younger, if only I were taller, if only my nose were 2 feet shorter. Now, even if you have a big nose, so what? You know, a person who has a little nose has to breathe the whole day long. With a big nose, you take one breath, you're good for a week. I'll show you what I mean by making the most of what you've got. Is there anybody here who knows what the Yiddish word mechula means? Mechula. What does it mean? That's right, bankrupt. It's a term very well known in the fur business. In New York City, Ginsberg ran a fur shop on Division Street. He calls up his lawyer. He says, put me into mechula. Put it into mechula. The lawyer said, all right, Ginsberg, I'll send over a deputy. They'll put a legal sign on your door. You will be from that moment on in bankruptcy. But the law requires you to keep the store open, sell the merchandise. You cannot lock the store. That's the law. He's all right, I won't. But the moment he hung up, he locked the door in the front, and he opened up the door in the back. And he started very quietly to slip out the merchandise. When the deputy arrived, he banged on the door. Open up the store! Open up the store! Why do you close the store? Don't you know you're not allowed to close the store when you go into bankruptcy? He said, Mr. Deputy, I'm very sorry. For me, today is a very important Jewish holiday. He said, a Jewish holiday? What holiday? It's Mechula. The deputy said, oh, well, he said, in that case, I'll be back tomorrow. He goes down the street. He sees Cohen's got his store open. He says, why aren't you closed today? Ginsburg's closed. He says, why should I be closed? It's a Jewish holiday. It's a Jewish holiday. What holiday? It's Mechula. Oh, he says, Mechula. That's because Ginsburg's Orthodox and I'm Reformed. He says, but to tell you the truth, Mr. Deputy, for me, next week is Mechula. There's a little saying I wish we could hammer in the head of every infant every day of his life. It's this: your happiness depends not so much on getting what you want as in being happy with what you've got. Second ingredient: do you know how to stay forever young? There are some women who are so worried about growing old that overnight their hair turns blonde. Youth, ladies and gentlemen, is never measured by the calendar. Speaking of youth, you know that a woman gets a better deal when she marries a man 2 to 5 years younger than she is? Not older, younger. Why? I told you why. Women outlive men. If a woman wants fewer years of widowhood, she'll marry a younger man. And not only that, but strange as it seems, as a woman grows older, her love life actually improves. With a man? Well, one lady, listen. One lady came to a doctor. She says, doctor, look at me. Look at me. So I'm so lively. I'm just raring to go. Just look at me. She says, but doctor, take a look at my husband. She says, take a good look at that man. She says, doctor, you must have something to make him young again. Something. Today, medicine has everything. Vaccines, peninsulas, everything. Can't you give him a shot of female barbital? Don't you have something to make him young again? Doctor said, of course we do. See this? Hormone tablets. He says, will it make him young again? It certainly will. She says, doctor, I must have it. He says, take it easy. I'm going to give them to you. But first, I must warn you. They're very, very strong. Now take it home and drop one single tablet into his soup every third night. Don't get excited. This isn't the one you know. By the way, the one she knows is better than mine. I say that right now. He says, one tablet in his soup every third night and no more. She was so excited, so thrilled, she could hardly wait. She ran home. She spilled half a bottle in the soup the first night. The next morning, he wouldn't get up. She pushed him in the bed. Get up! Come on! Out of bed! Up, 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 up! Finally, he opened up one eye. He said, all right, I'll get up, but I won't go to school.